First off, Billy, obviously you've got a kind of decent run now going of a few games. What's been key in terms of kind of that, I suppose, changing results?
Well, it's that results that bring confidence, and that's certainly come into play. And I still don't think we're firing in all cylinders, but we've got to remember we're still missing some players as well. So, really happy with the three results. Never fault my boys' work rate, and I think that got us a result away here. But 3 away games, you said to me at the start of the last month that we'll take 9 points out of them. I were a bit in the hand off you. So set us up nicely for this game.
How, obviously it's very well known how tight the league is, but how important is it getting a run like that in terms of changing your fortunes?
It's not really just to change the fortunes, it's just to make sure you're where you want to be. And I've said last season and this season, you put a run together, you'll not be far away, and we hope to continue. But Partick Thistle will be saying the exact same. They're scoring a lot of goals just now, they're winning games, they've only been beaten once all season, so we know it'll be a tough game, but can we beat Partick Thistle on a day? Absolutely.
You were talking earlier on about, waiting for a couple of players to return. Do you think once that happens it'll only kind of boost your chances?
I think you can't beat competition for places. People thrive off it, people want to keep their jersey, people want to get in the team, and that's what I want here. So when you're down to the bare bones and somebody's not quite at it, then they probably know they'll keep their place. But I've got no complaints with the attitude of the last 3 games. It's been 3 brilliant results, and the boys are ready to go. So it's a good place to be just now, as you can imagine. But so is Partick Thistle. We have to respect the opposition. We'll do that, but we have to look at ourselves and make sure we perform the way we can.
And just on Friday's opponents, then, what do you think of them this season?
As I said, scoring goals. You can see they're playing with confidence, and by their goals they are gaining confidence within matches. Went behind against Morton and managed to turn it round, and as soon as they got the vital third, they went on to cruise the game, and they did that sort of against us as well when they beat us. We didn't perform the way we can the last time we played them under the cameras, or in front of the cameras, so we have to make sure that we're better than we were the last time, but I'm sure we will be.
Is that very much in the past now, that result then?
Of course. If it was still bugging us, I don't think we'd have won the last 3 games.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, obviously there's a couple of familiar faces, particularly Brian Graham. What have you made of his kind of time there as well in this season?
Oh, well, up with Brian at Ross County. Always wants to score goals, a big man. That's all he thinks about. Get me goals, and if you do that and you score them, he is a big threat. He's a threat, and we have to make sure we handle him properly, because he scored 2 against us the last time. But we've got to make sure we defend better than we did last time. And as much as Thistle played well, I think we had a helping hand. And I don't want to harp on about the last time they beat us, but the last time we gave them a wee bit of a helping hand, and top of them playing well.
Just finally, obviously it was yourselves and Partick in the playoffs last time out. Do you see them being one of your main competitors for promotion this season as well?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you don't get 17 points after 8 games without thinking you're going to be up there. And they were there last season, they were in the playoffs. I don't see any reason why not this season.
Perfect, that's grand. Thanks for that, Billy.
Alright, Liam.
Billy, is last weekend's result pivotal? I mean, I don't think we played our best last weekend, and we'll probably play better and lose this season, but is that sort of games that you maybe towards the end of the season go, that was a big one, that was one that got us right back on track?
You look at that, I know I was sitting down in Ayrshire, my mum's on Saturday night, and I was thinking, that's a great 3 points, because they're a good team here, and you can see why they are where they are. And they asked a few questions of us. I don't think Mark, looking back at the game, had great saves to make. They had 2 good chances in the first half, but we had to dig in because they created opportunities. A bit was us, and I've worked on it this week, giving the ball away in wrong areas too cheaply, too quickly, and they took advantage of it, and we went from our attack to nearly scoring. So we've done a wee bit of work in that. But if you're asking me if that's a big 3 points, absolutely, because it shows you I've got that side to my team. When we're not playing well, we can still win games, and you need that in this division.
And then the goal machine, Cammy Harper, pops up again. What's the secret in his sauce this month?
I think Cammy's always had when I spoke to you was it last week or the week before, about the energy he brings. He's a good footballer, had to work a wee bit in his defensive side, just taking that real defensive side away. No, he still has to defend in midfield, but it's no last line, it's no last ditch. If you take that defensive side away from Cammy, then he's an all-round footballer. I mean, he can defend, he can play, he's got energy, he's got technical ability, as you saw in his goals at Dundee. He's been a revelation, he really has. And I'm thrilled for him, and he knows he's got to keep it going and continue it, because he brings so much to our team, and especially in there, he's been a real find. Now, I've played him wide there, but I always knew he could play that central position. I just had it. He's got too much about him as a person, as a player, not to be able to play midfield, and he's grasped it. He's really grabbed the opportunity.
And pick up one more player, like singling too many players up, but Zach Delaney, who's coming at left back, has been superb, flawless at the back for me. How's he been in your eyes? He's
an out-and-out defender. He really he's kind of old-fashioned, rugged, Zach, and but he's got ability as well, because he can play left back. You've seen him rampaging forward, a couple of runs against Dundee, but he prides himself defending first and foremost, keeping clean sheets. But he's been a real find as well, Zach, and I'm delighted with him. I don't think he had his best game last week, but he stuck at it. He's been outstanding in a few matches. I thought he was exceptional against Dundee, I really did. But you know what you're getting with Zach. If he's not quite 100%, he still gives you his tank, and he really is. He's really over the piece done brilliantly for us, because I didn't think we play so much football, but he's actually made the left back position his own just now.
I agree, but good for me. So lastly, I know it's in the past and it's a fresh game against Partick this weekend, but is there a wee sense of we owe them one, because you said it wasn't a 4-goal game. We gave them a few goals, but because it's under the lights, it's on the TV, is there a wee extra onus just to say, look, let's show the rest of this league that this is what we're about?
We've got a chance, haven't we? The one thing I want us to do, Stevie, is make sure we ask a question of them and lay a glove on them. I think we have to do those things, because we didn't really do it at Firhill, but we're capable of doing it. So that's all I want. I want us competitive, and I want us to ask them the question, because I think if we do, we'll get joy.
Perfect. Good luck tomorrow night.
Cheers.
How close are we seeing to some of the players that were injured coming back into the squad?
We've got Welshie up and running again. He's a model pro, where he's a fit boy anyway. So it's nice to see him. We've had him back on the training ground. He's actually getting ball work, so we're hoping he's not too far away. And Roddy, you saw he come on, which was a wee boost, because I said to you before the game that wasn't sure he could get minutes, but he's such a fit boy, where I thought it maybe Ayr United would come too quick for him, but it didn't, and he made the squad, and then I put him on for the last 5 minutes when we got in. Then we got a few minutes injury time as well, so that was a real boost. So there's more coming back. So playing wise, we're winning games. Injury wise, things are getting better, and that can only be good.